Welcome to Steam Next Fest, where you can check out a new batch of demos from hundreds of upcoming games on Steam. Test them out for free. And check out other features of the fest, like the official live stream, developer chats, and more. Explore the latest from veteran devs and first-timers alike. This is Steam Next Fest.
Welcome, everyone, to Steam Next Fest, which is a multi-day celebration of upcoming games. From now until February 28th, 2022, you can explore and play hundreds of game demos. You can also watch some developer live streams. You can also chat with teams about their games coming soon to Steam. Here with me today to talk about Next Fest is my co-host, as always, Jay Hobbs. Good afternoon, morning. Good afternoon for you. Good morning for me.
Yes, it's that quasi, middle of the of the day. Yeah, I am super excited to be talking about a lot of the games here. It's been a lot of fun every time we've done this in the past, and we have a bunch of fantastic indie games to show you all, and some that we actually have panelists who are able to take a bit of a deep dive into. And hey, speaking of panelists, I think we're pretty much ready to, just tell everybody a little bit more about how this is going to go. So we are going to be looking at a bunch of different games, as we talked about, but we are going to kind of split those things up into categories. The first category we're going to be looking at in a little bit is going to be the retro category, and then we'll be joined by some fantastic folks who can talk with us about those games that they were able to kind of look into a little bit more than even we were. But I am still really excited for this, Sumi. I think we're going to have a blast during this broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these categories are definitely not ones that you might see, like traditional categories. I think they might have possibly been made up by our very own GDQ game creators, but, they always make it fun. So I'm excited to see some great demos categorized into some weird, wacky categories.
I am as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might be ready to start with our first genre. J Hobbs, tell me a little bit about the upcoming genre, retro.
Yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at some games that fit a retro genre, and you might be thinking, oh well, why are we talking about games from the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that? We're not. We're talking about games that are brand new, that are coming up, yet to be released for many of them, and are kind of inspired by retro games, or they have a retro style to them. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's take a look at some of the games in the retro genre right now.
You can go ahead and stop building that time machine because Steam Next Fest already has everything you need to scratch your retro gaming itch. In the biomechanical-inspired retro shooter Diluvian Ultra, battle your way through a living spaceship to secure the future of humanity. Then, the prey becomes the predator in AK Zolotl, an arcade-inspired top-down shooter with a pixel art style and a hunger for high scores. Next, check out Heroes Hour, a real-time strategy game with dozens of units, heroes, spells, and a turn-based twist out of combat that's going to keep you thinking on your feet and for the future. Don't overlook Small Saga, a turn-based story-driven RPG set in the underbelly of London. When an ambitious mouse loses his tail, curiosity won't be the only thing killing the cat. Finally, let's take it all the way back with Dash Pong, a chaotic modern physics-based take on the classic for up to 4 players. This isn't just a blast from the past. All of these demos and hundreds more are available right now during Steam Next Fest.
Retro is something that I think J Hobbs and me and a whole bunch of other speedrunners will enjoy. But before we get into the genre, we have 2 wonderful panelists joining us here today. We have Argic and Pleasantly Twisted. Good morning, afternoon. How are you doing?
Excited about retro games.
Oh yeah, retro games are a lot of fun. We are looking forward to checking out some of the stuff that we've got planned for Steam. Lots of good things coming ahead. Good time to be a gamer, especially if you love this retro stuff.
Oh
We
my
saw
God.
a bunch of really cool games in that little overview there, but obviously we're going to be taking a deeper dive into some other ones as well. Anything stand out from the little trailer there that we saw? I mean, AK Zolotl, right? Like, I think that was one that I thought was just incredible.
Between that and Small Saga, I'm super hyped because in one, I get to be into the Gungeon but super cute, and then in the other, I get to beat up a pixelated cat, and that's all I care about. Literally all I care about. It's like, it's a pixelated cat. I'm here. I'm jacked in.
I saw Small Saga and I was like, wait a minute, does that mouse have a... I just went, swing, it's got a knife. And that was it. It's like, oh, look, there's a way. But that was going... And then it was really interesting seeing the Heroes Hour there with RTS coming back, right? It's like, yo, RTS isn't dead. Let's go. So, and it's promising like 50 hero skills, 60 different units. It's like, oh, let's see how this is going to turn out then. So it's like lots of good stuff in that one.
Yeah, very cool. We only got to see a little bit of a piece for each of those, though. So why don't we take a better look at another game? Let's take a look at Elsie. Elsie is an indie action platformer filled with roguelike mechanics such as permadeath, procedurally generated levels, and a wide scope of items and weaponry to make each run as unique as possible. This game is brought to you by Night Shift Games, and it's actually in early access now, but if you want to give it a try yourself, you can go download the demo right now and start playing, just like every game that we're going to be looking at today. So, Elsie, this game is pure chaos, I feel like, and it embraces it in the best way. Who wanted to start? I'm seeing Argic bounce around the most. So Argic, why don't you kick things off?
Me. So like I'm on a roguelike binge right now, right? I'm loving roguelikes. I'm having a lot of fun with them. And there's like Elsie came out, it's just like, ooh. And then you just saw in the trailer there just lots of bullets, lots of weapons, lots of items, lots of skills, and they all come together, and it just looks like it gets to ridiculous levels of combat, of fun, almost to Toho levels of bullet hell, basically, right? And to me, it also has that kind of like Mega Man Zero style run and gun going on it.
Yeah.
So it's like bringing that back. Like, I love Mega Man Zero. It's the best Zero. I don't care what anybody says. So it's like Elsie is definitely going to scratch that itch. And just from the trailer, it looks speedy. Now, as a speedrunner who does Sonic games, it's like, this is right in my wheelhouse. I want this. And just on the trailer, I was just jamming out to the tunes as well, because it sounds really good. So it's like, why not? So it's like, I'm looking forward to this. I wanna play more of this. Yes, please.
Especially with the whole part where it's like you said, talking about it being similar to Toho. I was actually making some small notes about that. I was like, this is giving real big Deedlit energy, Toho energy. I know there's plenty of people out there that's like, oh, but we have a 30XX, we have our Dead Cells, we have all these things, but what if we had more and it was more retro? Like, that's the point that we're trying to get at. We understand that there's a lot, but at the same time, but what about this version of it? I am going to purchase this, and I'm going to be abysmal at it, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to have a fun time playing it, because everything about the game radiates fun. It absolutely just radiates energy. It's a good time. It's colorful. It's got lots of things that's going on that you can like kind of interact with, engage with, play with, and there's lots to explore. So I'm really looking forward to this demo. I'm really looking forward to this.
I really like that the game, like, it's very, like, if you look at it, it just screams retro. But at the same time, you can definitely tell that it's like, it's a 2022 game, right? Because it's like, the UI is so smooth. Like, when I look at the menus opening, I'm just like, wait, that looks so good. I know you guys all talked about like the really, really cool things. And I'm just like, meanwhile, I'm like, wow, that menu is so beautiful.
No, I'm right there with you, Sumi, because like the controls looked super tight to me. Like even without playing it, it looks like it'll control really tightly. But then also I just noticed some small details here and there, like the fact that you don't have to pick up the green currency that was spitting out of enemies whenever you defeat them. Like that's just such a small, nice thing that is a very welcome inclusion for any kind of game that wants to be trying to mimic some retro styles in some ways, but really modernize things, bring it up to the modern era. And I thought the inclusion of customization is a really big piece of, roguelites in general. And so it's a really good idea to include in a game like this. And I'm excited to see how you can kind of really customize things from run to run. I think that's going to be very fun. And then
Definitely.
I think... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sumi. Go. No.
Sorry, I just wanted to say I'm very interested in the story itself, because the trailer definitely captures all the action, but there's actually a story behind it. Like, Elsie is an android created by Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray, you get it? And she's modeled after her daughter who disappeared, but then Dr. Gray disappears. So now the android's looking for Dr. Gray. So there's some interesting back and forth there. Definitely interested in checking it out.
It's the kind of game that if you had told me just the title Elsie, I would not have thought this was the game that you were talking about. Like, it's interesting. And that's why I'm curious to get more into that story. But we have many more games to look at here in the retro genre. So why don't we jump into our next one, which is going to be taking a little bit of a deviation here into 8-Bit Adventures 2 from Critical Games.
and published by Critical Games, 8-Bit Adventures 2 is coming to you in 2022, coming soon. It is a turn-based RPG that is quoted to have everything you love about NES, SNES, and PS1 era RPGs. Now, Pleasantly Twisted, we were talking a little bit about it while we were watching the trailer. Tell me what you love about it.
I have to be in full agreement of that assessment because just from the trailer, it literally has every single thing that you love from those old school games, from the pixel graphics to the soundtrack just being really kind of, it's not quite grungy and dirty like you would have with the 8 and 16-bit era, but it's still more up to date. And you have a lot of that gameplay that has throwbacks to Final Fantasy. There's a little bit of touch of Zelda in there. There's also some throwbacks to Earthbound with how the UI is laid out. And just seeing how everything gets improved upon for the 2022 iteration of it, it's so good. But it scratches that retro itch almost perfectly because everything from the stylization, the text and font choices, the UI decisions and layouts, and all of it that it has to offer, it pretty much is exactly what many retro RPG players are going to be looking for. And I'm really excited to get my hands on this one just because it's going to have so much to offer and it feels big. It feels like it's going to have a lot of story. It feels like it's going to have a lot to offer. And I also really enjoy those cutscenes. The cutscenes where it's like the dual attacks. I don't know what it is exactly, but it looks like a team up attack. I'm all about that. Things that just make you feel like, yeah, this is going to be a super move. Let's do it. I'm getting into it. But yes, as you can tell, yes, I'll be playing this.
You're very excited for it. Yeah.
I'm going to play this.
I think you kind of hit on something there, which is I think the best kinds of games that fit this genre are ones where the game is kind of actually creating a game that feels the way you remember those old classics from the NES, SNES era, like those kinds of games. And that is exactly what we see from this. And I didn't grow up with those kinds of games. And I've always wanted to go back and try them out, but I've been wary because it's like, well, there's been 25 years of design sensibilities that the industry has learned over that time. This feels to me like a perfect entryway into those kinds of old classic RPGs. Yeah. Argik, how are you feeling looking at this one?
I think it looks absolutely fantastic. One of the things there, Pleasantly mentioned there, obviously, those team-up attacks, those big, like, yeah, specials. But looking at the backgrounds of all the fights as well, it's like, they're so unique. You've got fighting a samurai or a shinobi there. You've got underwater fights going on. There's a train, because of course there's a train. There's got to be a train.
Can we
retro
suplex
stuff
it?
without a train in there.
But
You've got an airship that you're
it?
flying about with. Like, what? Like, yeah. But it's like they're all so unique in that as well. It doesn't show you much in terms of like how your combat's going to work. I did notice that it has like up on the top right section, you could see like your turn order. So it's like you're not guessing whose turn's going to be next. You know whose turn's coming up. So like, that's going to be really cool. But it's like on top of that as well, it's just I'm wondering that. It's making me wonder just how many different RPG elements are going to come into this. Like, how are we going to be able to customize our characters? Because there's a lot of them, right? Like, you've got a robot there. You've got, like, 4 different characters. It looks like 2 characters. Either they're in love or they're fighting there. The trailer is not shy about showing you there's going to be a lot of dialogue in here. You are getting into, like, that old-school JRPG, so you better be ready. And it gives you that feeling of this living world that you're about to dive into. And hopefully, when we play it, we'll get to see these characters and we'll get to go on this journey with them. And yeah, it just captures, as you say, that old school retro feel with this modern take on it. So I'm excited for it too.
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about... Oh, go ahead, Sumi.
Oh, sorry. I was just really excited for the battle system because even though it's like first person, you look directly at the monster, but you can still see the characters at the bottom and you can see like their animation. So you don't have to like imagine the spells either. Sorry, PT, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, kind of touching base on that character part too, that also has a lot of opportunity and open possibilities because how many characters are there going to be? Is it going to be a limited roster like we've seen before in previous RPGs where it's like, here's your 8 people, go forth and dethrone God? Or is it going to be more like the Suikoden style where you can have as many people as you are willing to go out and recruit and talk to? So that's good. Oh my God, that's going to be so fun.
Who knows? But for anybody who wants to get a glimpse at it, don't forget forget, you can go download the demo in the Steam client right now for this and all of the games that we're going to be showcasing today. Speaking of, gameplay demos and various other games, let's take a look at our next one, which is called Mago. And for this one, Argic, I think you actually got hands-on with this game, right?
I did. I got to play it. It was a lot of fun. Mago, the villain's burger, it is called. And I'm like, wait a minute. Are we going for the burger? Are we taking away the burger? I don't know. You'll find out if you play the demo. But we were really fortunate, and we got to check it.
Yeah, let's start looking at it. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sumi.
Oh, God. Everybody's
Internet.
so excited to talk. I don't know what I'm supposed to talk. Let's just watch the Mago by Argic.
Right, here we go. Mago, the villain's burger. Let's play the game. Let's have a look. Let's have a lot of fun. Story of the pixel art game going to play it now. Ah, you are wanting a burger. This explains everything. So, we're going for a burger, are we? Okay, we're going to look for a burger. Hello, I am a mage. I can jump. With the jump button, I can go. I can use magic. Magic stars. Yo, magic stars makes a vine. So here we go. Run and jump. I have a run button, so if I hold the button, it's like Mario style jump. Woohoo! Hold the button, you can run. Oh, don't hit that. Hit the anger, and then you can double jump. So if I hold the up button, I can double jump on it. Bounce to double jump, bounce and run. And you hit the star to turn it green, and the level is done. Good stuff. Look, it's like Zelda. Yo, it's like Zelda Overrun. Look at this. Oh, is this our map? Is this going to be a level? Autumn Teapot Plains. Oh, it is. It's our map. It's our little level select. 1-1. World 1-1. We're going for a donut. Let's just go. We're going off for a stroll. Coming out my house. And away we go. Coming out of the house. I've got my hand, my wand, and we're looking for the burger. Let's go. So yeah, I turned it. Look, it's a little happy now. Just like da-da-da-da-da-da. So wait, can I get the orb then? So unhappy, then happy. And then can go grab that. So that is 5 something. When you're happy like that, okay, so you can still be hit by it. So don't get hit by it, that's bad. So you stun enemies. Yeah, so you just stun them basically. And then we leg it. Cool. So stunned enemies. That keeps you re-stunned, I guess. Did I bounce on you? I did bounce on you. Wait, can I Goomba? Is that what this is? Yeah! You Goomba stomp them. You hit them, and then you Goomba them. Feathery race. Well, let's run away then and see what we get in 1-2. Donut! Gonna grab my donut. Oh, hello, birds. Yo, I'm a bird! Is this an auto-scroller? Whee! Oh, yeah, it is. I can't stop. Okay, so we are auto-running here. Auto-running our way through here. I actually can't... I can slow down slightly. I guess the purple ones slow me down. But that's my donut. That's my jump. Donuts, jumps, donuts, and runs. Whee! Oh, don't slow down. Oh, I had to slow down. Can I fly? I can't fly. Big bounce. Big bounce. Oh, I missed 2. No, I have to go back. But I can't go back. I can slow down, but I can't go back. Jump, 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 jump. Nailed it. Oh, no, I should have went the other way. No! Oh, I'm still alive, though. I could have jumped up there at any point, and down the hole we go. It's not death, though. So it's only death if I have no life left. Okay, we got to do this stage again. I want to go see what the stars do. We know what the stars do. The stars give you 2 arg. You know what I mean. I still want to go back and do it. Run, 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 run. The music's pretty... The music's, like, very appropriate for the stage. Run real fast and let's go and finish off the finish line. This is very lucky. Oh, it's another chicken run. Chicken run. Whee! And we go. And we go. Oh, it was a tight grab. Oh, that one was almost bad. Oh! Well, I didn't know what I'd do. Just gonna run it. Oh, and I did it again. No, that's a twofer! This is it. This is where we go. No! Okay, I'm still alive. I'm bit. No, Arg, not like this. Come on, you're so close. You're so close. Not like this, Arg. It doesn't matter if you take many time losses at the... Oh, actually, my time says yes, it does. Please, keep me alive. Keep me alive, video game. Keep me alive. That's a net loss. That's a net even. That's fine. That's a net loss. That's a bringing it back. How many? Oh, is that it? Did we do it? I get to spin and win. Yo, I get to spin my prize. There's a prize wheel. What do we get? We've got... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I did all that. I did all that for 10. I did all that for the... Oh, oh no. I got RNG'd at the end.
Argic, you got robbed. You got robbed at the end there.
I did all that. It doesn't show you the video there, but I spent like 15 minutes trying to get through all those mini games because they're procedurally generated. They change every time you go through. So it's like you go in it and it's like at the end there, oh, prize wheel, robbed. It's like, oh, thanks. Oh, that was amazing though. That was great fun to play.
Incredible. And I would jump into your thoughts about the game, but we just got to hear a lot of your thoughts about the game. So other folks, Sumi, what were you thinking when we were looking at this one?
I definitely got like Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion vibes from this game, but I really, when I watched the trailer for this, I was super hyped that you could become a bird, and I'm so glad that Argic also had that same thought. He's like, yo, I'm a bird, and I was like, yeah, this man knows what's up.
Oh my gosh.
We go from an RPG where birds are jerks and everybody knows this to a game where you just get to be this cute little bird. And I mean, I'm a sucker for some gorgeous pixel art, and this game just looked amazing. It looked fantastic, super pretty. PT, you were saying you got a lot of kind of the, cuteness of Kirby vibes from it, right?
Yes,
when you were watching.
like a lot of the graphics in general just give me like a lot of throwbacks to Kirby. See, my Genesis game that I thought of was Rystar, and it made me think about that a little bit. And I'm just super excited because so kind of going back to the idea of things we didn't get to play when we were younger, because I had such limited access to games, I played a lot of platformers. So this is like right up my alley of things that I played on a regular basis. And again, it just really hones in on the things that really made those games magical during that time with some quality of life improvements, like the fact that you don't immediately die when you fall in the water, because that's awful. That's always been terrible. Every single time. But I cannot deal with how much this throws me just face first back into the the Genesis era of gaming. And it's just, it looks like it's pretty tight. It looks like some of those hits that were being taken, it's like, wow, that's really harsh. But also that wheel at the end did rob you real bad. It robbed you real bad. But I also just love forever that something that you were picking up, I'm assuming it's like a currency, was donuts. And I'm just like, I can't eat donuts anymore because I'm old, so I'm going to live vicariously and eat donuts here.
Vicariously through video games, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought it was neat how they tried to work with a limited amount of space on screen, if that makes sense. Like the camera's so zoomed in, your character is really large, which is it's really cool because it means they can put a lot more detail into that character sprite, right? Because it's taking up so much more of the screen. But also it means that they're kind of using that as a design limitation of like, okay, this game might be kind of hard because if you're trying to just hold right and rush through it, you're not going to have as much time to see things coming up. Also, it's like, again, inspired, as all these games in this category, by the kind of retro games. Back then, it was just, that's the resolution you had to work with. That's all you could do.
Well, and keep in mind, it's procedurally generated. So you can't see what's coming next. And you also have no idea. Like, you can't memorize it. Yeah, you can memorize it in that iteration, but the next time you play, that's not going to be what happens.
It's different.
Next.
That's true.
Well, Argic, you got to play the game. So tell me what you love best about the game.
Honestly, it was just how fast and how, like, you're saying it looks difficult, but it's one of those games that's very easy to pick up and get into and then hard to master, I feel like. Like, you can run in, you can go through it, and you'll have a lot of time. You'll have a good time with the first couple of levels here, and then you'll put all the elements together, then you realize, I can chain these. So you'll hold the speedy button to run really fast, because this is what it has. Like, talking about old games, it has that press and hold the button to sprint like you had in the old Mario games. And it translates into, if you hold the jump button, you do a higher jump. If you press the jump button, you do a baby jump. Hold that off an enemy, you get a big bounce. And it's like just trying to chain them all together. you're having a lot of fun trying to navigate the levels as quickly as you possibly can. And honestly, it's going to be one to keep an eye out on as well. Also, the stars, they're totally the stars from Kirby. Like, that's what they are. They're stars from Kirby. You go through. But no, definitely one to, if you're looking for that platformer that you want to have a bit of fun and some exploration, there's secrets in there that you didn't get to see as well, by the way. And there's a really good one in the demo. See if you can find it.
Well, I'm sure we could talk about it forever, but if this retro 2D platformer that puts you in the boots of a sorcerer is enticing to you, then why don't you check out Mago by Dream Potion Games. You can go download the demo in the Steam client right now, and you can wishlist it to know when it gets a release date, when it's going to be coming out. But for now, we're going to move on to our last game of the retro category, which is a game called Souldiers.
Welcome, mighty warriors. Choose what kind of legend you want to write. Do you have the spirit of a great soldier? The accuracy of a confident archer? Or perhaps you'll prefer to defeat your foes with powerful magic? Whatever your choice, your quest will lead you through Terragaia's magnificent landscapes. In a world where life and death seem to blur into one, become the toughest warrior, master new abilities, and retrieve powerful artifacts. But don't get too confident. Never underestimate the enemy. They can be more powerful than you imagine. Will you be strong enough to succeed and bring your fellow soldiers back home? Soldiers.
Developed by Retroforge and published by Dear Villagers, Souldiers will be coming out in spring 2022. And it follows the land of Terragaia, and the player has the duty to locate the Guardian, but the player didn't die, and the whole world is taking place next to the afterlife. So, yeah, lots to talk about here. J-Hobbs, tell me a little bit about what you liked about Souldiers. I saw how hype you were.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about that story. Like, that's interesting. That's really cool. But I think that this game just looks so good. It looks amazing. And one of the details that I noticed during it is whoever worked on the special effects for this game was just straight flexing. Like they were just really trying to show off in this one. The attacks and the spell effects make everything look so impactful, and I can only assume that it feels the same way while you're playing it. And just the art looks fantastic. The bosses look super fun. All the attacks and everything look great. I can't wait to try this one out. PT, what do you think looking at it?
I love how this game looks, or more than that, because you've already kind of touched on the graphic side of it, I love how all of it comes together and how it feels. Like everything has a really good weight. Everything feels like fire feels fiery. Bombs feel like bombs. And your actual content, no, like, I don't know how to really describe
silly.
it.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
It works.
Yeah, like the weights of everything feels really good. And like the actual combat feels good. The sprites are fantastic, and like their animations are so on point. Like there's one in the trailer where the guy spins and misses, and he actually has the animation to show that he misses and falls down. And I know that that's like the smallest, most minute detail, but it just brings that much more life to the game proper. And I really want to I just want to sink my teeth into how you actually like build up your characters. Do they level up? Is it more RPG elements in that aspect? I need to play this too. A lot of the games today, I know I've said that, but like seriously and earnestly, as someone who likes the retro genre at large, I love everything we've seen today, and this is really, really good looking.
Yeah, I think this one is fantastic. And going back to like modernizing, but still taking retro inspiration, I think one of the reasons everything looks so impactful, a bomb feels very much like a bomb in the game, like you were saying, I think is because it looks like they did pixel art and sprite kind of style for a lot of things, but then for a lot of the effects, it's more of clean, clean effects that they're applying on top of it. And I think it blends and works together really well. Argic, real quick, what did you think of Souldiers looking at this one?
It's Spelunky, but a Metroidvania, and looks so good. Like, I want to play. I want to
That's such
play
a good
it.
pitch.
So many different characters there. The classes looked so different for them. And it's like, I'm not one for playing like ranged in games. I'm not really one that does that. I like getting all up in the face and swinging about the place. But the caster and the ranger, like, they look like they're going to be good fun to go through as well. So it's like, just keep an eye out, check them all out. We've already mentioned the looks many times, but for me, you want to get my attention, you show me pixel art. The moment I saw this game, even before Next Fest, it's like, wish list, I want mine now, thank you. And it's like, you see the trailer's got us hooked. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. Obviously, jury will be out when we play the demo, which we're going to be doing anyway, because yes. But it's just like everything about it, as you say, I agree with Pleasantly, I agree with you, J Hobbs. It's just like, it looks good, and I can't wait to play some more of it.
Yeah, Sumi, any final thoughts on Soldiers here?
No, I think it's a fantastic looking game. I'm a caster fan, so I'm excited to play some mage and burn people up. But yeah, I mean, excited for the game. And for all of you who are interested in playing it, you can play the demo right now and show the developer and publisher your love by putting it on your wish list and letting them know that you're interested in the game. Definitely helps them out a lot.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think a lot of people don't actually know that you can get notifications about when a game gets released if it's on your wish list, as well as when it's on sale. So highly recommend you using that. It's a fantastic tool to be able to know when the game's going to come out.
Everyone wins.
Increase your backlog, increase your game list, enjoy video games. But yeah, I think that is actually the end of our retro genre, which means that unfortunately we're going to have to say goodbye to our wonderful panelists, Argit and Pleasantly Twisted. Thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit, starting with Argit, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me over at twitch.tv/Argik, and you can find me on Twitter at JKArgik. I'm always posting about indie games and retro games, and I'm a Sonic speedrunner. I like to say I'm the Sonic speedrunner extraordinaire. If you want to see me speedrun Sonic games really, really fast and get a top 10 time in all mainline Sonic games, come and follow me on those areas.
That's impressive. That's hard. PT, where can folks find you?
I will say, I don't have nearly as high ranking credentials, but I'm Pleasantly Twisted. You can find me at twitch.tv/Pleasantly Twisted. All of my socials are going to be the exact same as Pleasantly Twisted. Do not put vowels in Twisted. You will find somebody that I don't know, and I have no responsibility over that interaction. I speedrun as well. I've been doing speedruns of Katana Zero. I'm going to be working on a Bloodborne speedrun here soon, and I stream 3 times a week, and I do a lot of deep dives in game dev and game design. So yeah, if you want to hear me gush more about how a game looks and how it plays, come hang out 3 times a week. We do that type of stuff.
Well, I definitely look at a lot of PT's content when I want to see pick out games.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Thank you so much, PT and Argik, for joining us for the retro game genre. Now, we love to talk about retro games all day, but we thankfully just had a nice transition there from our panelists about speed running. So why don't we start thinking about our next category, which is speed and style. These are games that just kind of, I don't know, they just ooze something that really makes you want to play them. You can't describe these games as well sometimes because you just got to see them to know exactly what they are. And we have an overview of some of the games that fit into this category. And again, any game that you see today during Steam Next Fest, you can actually go and download a demo for. You can wishlist it on Steam and try the game out yourself. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Steam Next Fest. If this intro has already gone on too long for you, don't worry. Steam Next Fest has plenty of offerings for those among us craving speed and style. Let's get things started off on the right foot with Kick Bastards, a fast-paced parkour platformer where your only option to survive is to kick it up a notch. Next, we'll bounce back with Deflector, Specimen 1, a high-octane futuristic roguelite where your best defense against the swarm of enemies is their unrelenting offense. Challenge your skills, challenge your times, and challenge the demonic hordes in Warcry Challenges, a time trial-based FPS with an old-school setup and a modern flair. When your traitorous former clients come knocking, make sure to show them the door in Chains of Fury, an old-school arena shooter that's not afraid to show its love for the comics on its sleeve or on the walls. Don't get too confident, though, or your bullet hell might just become a bullet nightmare in the dream-inspired, hand-drawn, twin-stick shooter, Never Awake. Check out all these demos and hundreds more, all during Steam Next Fest.
In the speed and style genre, we've got speed and we've got style, two very important things to a lot of people. And we also have some wonderful speed runners and game players to talk to us about speed and style. We have Brian Otto and Daniel the Demon. Good afternoon. Welcome. Welcome to Next Fest.
What's up, everybody?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here with my Daniel. Daniel's one of my buddies, so the fact that we both get to be here is super sick.
And we swear we did not coordinate our clothing.
Oh my god!
I know. I was just about to ask.
We're out here bringing the style to speed and style. What can I say?
Of course.
I love it.
We got to see a bunch of games in that just genre trailer there for games like Kick Bastards, Deflector, War Stride Challenges. Anything jumping out to you two when you were looking at this one?
So the thing that jumps out to me is we saw this a bit in the Chains of Fury and in Kick Bastards was that classic Dark Messiah arcane game style kick. You know, we saw it come back a bit in Deathloop and everything like that. I love that mechanic and I love seeing it come back. Like that's something that immediately stuck out to me there.
For me, I really enjoyed Deflector. Like I'm a huge fan of bullet hell, roguelikes, and it looks like it's, as well as isometric, you're just running around either in two different characters. One's a boomerang, one looks like it has a sword, there may be even more, and what you're doing is just going absolutely ham, trying to deflect and hack and slash through all these enemies. That has really caught my eye. So did War Stride Challenges. The movement and the solid just flow of it, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I thought so many of the games there just had style to them visually on top of that, like both in the gameplay and visually. I thought it was fantastic. And if we want to start looking at a game that really just kind of oozes style, like that is really just completely full of it, well then why don't we take a look at the trailer for Neodash, an upcoming game from Axon Gray. Drift at full speed across gaps, traps, and neon-drenched environments that react to a captivating soundtrack, as we got to see a little bit of a piece of there. This game releases in 2022, and if you want to give it a try, you can go download the demo for Neodash or wishlist it on Steam so that you can be notified when the game comes out. Now, Daniel, we were looking at that one, and you were just freaking out all over it before anybody could see us. What was jumping out for you about this one?
I know it was a super short trailer just to show us what it could be about, but like the endless possibilities of that game. The art style is beautiful. I love that everything around the atmosphere was changing. It looks like the whole level was changing as you progress. It went from like a super neon light, super pumpy place to a dark chaos looking spot. I was just like, oh my gosh, yes. And all on top of that, you have everything trying to stop you from continuing and getting the best score ever. So you have like speed pads that are going backwards. You have mines here. You have all these things that are just obstacle-wise that are hindering you from continuing and getting the best score, probably in a leaderboard against your friends.
This is why I love having panelists on this, because I didn't even catch any of that. It was just, I was too absorbed by the speed. It's weirdly easy for a racing game to end up not feeling fast. And I say racing game is to be a very loose term here. And I think that this game does not have that problem whatsoever. I love that the trailer is constantly drifting. There's a boost mechanic that was involved at times. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. Brian, what did you like about the Neodash trailer?
I mean, so much. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack here. It seems like it has references to so many like old racing games that I loved. Like, if anybody played what was it? Hot Wheels Stunt Track Racer back on like the Nintendo 64, where you do the jumps and you do the flips and you get like a boost from it and stuff. It seems like a lot of the kind of like aerial control mechanics remind me a little bit of like of Rocket League. the way that the controls work. But mostly, and speaking of the controls, what really sticks to me there is the way that it looks like it handles. Like the drifting seems very, it looks really tight. It looks really, yeah. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of opportunity to explore the depths of like what you can do there. And as Daniel mentioned, going against your friends on the leaderboard and everything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, they also have community-made tracks, so the possibilities really are endless. Like they have a campaign and they have community-made tracks, so there's tons of possibilities there. It'll be really good. It'll be a really good time. And for those of you who would like to check out the game, the demo is available now because it is a part of Steam Next Fest February 2022 edition. Go ahead and check it out, and also wishlist the game to let the devs know that you love their game, and also the wishlist will tell you when the game is available and also on sale. Pretty cool, right? That's Neodash, but we have some other games that are also in the speed and style genre that are pretty different from that, I would say. Wait, J-Hobbs, I think that we have like a pretty good variety, right? But let's take a look. Agree. Yeah, let's take a look at our next game, which is called Turbo Overkill.
Nicely done, sir.
Coming out soon, Turbo Overkill by Trigger Happy Interactive and Apogee Entertainment will be coming to you soon, and it's also quoted to be it's quoted in the store page, which you can go see now, that it is a game that is basically Blade Runner meets Doom. Bryce, tell me about this game.
Oh my, I mean, like within the first 5 seconds of the trailer, you have a dude with a chainsaw coming out of his knee, sawing off the end of his shotgun. And from that moment, I was sold on this game. Everything else after that was just icing on the cake. The amount of movement mechanics that we saw, the variety in weapons when he popped out his fingers and then shot rockets out of them. Like it's just every single time I was like, okay, this looks cool. I'm going to play this. And then I would see the next thing and I went, okay, this looks cool. I'm going to play this. It just seems like, I mean, I don't even know where to start with it. I mean, just from the get-go, I was sold, and it just got better from there.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I start. I start with slide dash chainsaw. That is like my new favorite video game move of all time. It's so good. The gameplay in this game just looked really fun. I'm glad that they referenced Doom in like the description of the game, because I got really big arcade shooter vibes from it, and in the best kind of way, where you're just constantly moving. There's never a moment in that trailer where the player in the gameplay is like standing still. They're always moving. They're keeping track of where the enemies are. They're circling the camera around them and constantly thinking, what do I have available to me right now? How can I change things up? And maybe not even what's the most efficient way to take out these enemies? What's the coolest way? How can I look the most like a badass while I'm doing this right now? And so this game knows it's just having fun with being cool, and you gotta love it. Daniel, your thoughts?
I love the art style because it kind of reminds me of, it's hard to say, it's very unique. It's pixelated, but it's smooth, you know? Kind of like how you were talking on the last segment of a different game that was, you know, they put it was like retro, yet it still felt new, and it felt so smooth. That's the atmosphere that I was feeling when I was watching this, as well as just the amount of guns and different possibilities that you can have. I'm guessing that there's way more guns and way more augments and abilities that we have not seen. There's probably modifications that you can do onto your character. I saw that we were like an android. Why are we shooting everything? I need to know this story. Like, it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool story why this android or why this person is literally going bonkers on all these robots. It's amazing. I'm ready for it. I cannot wait.
Yeah, you briefly mentioned the weapon variety in there, and I think that's so important for an arcade shooter. Like, I think that nailing the weapons is the biggest thing, and it really seems like they did that here. And we'd love to talk more about it, but if you are interested in this one, just go ahead and add it onto your Steam wish list. It's Turbo Overkill, and you can be notified when the game comes out. You could try out the demo today. But you also mentioned the story there, and I think this next game that we're looking at has a really weird story to think about, like a really unique one. Bri, you got to look at it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at you playing Neon White here with a little bit of gameplay.
All right, I have been looking forward to this for so long. I am a huge fan of Annapurna, like really anything they publish. And I mean, anybody that knows me knows that I love movement-based first-person games. So this is right up my alley. I am super stoked. Oh, okay, so there's my ammo counter. What is this? Movement. Move with WASD, look around with the mouse. Okay, cool. That is like every other game I played, so that works. Whoa, you get... The aerial control in this game is super weird. You can just do anything you want. Okay. What happens if I go in the water? Oh, I'm fast in the water? Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I'm so floaty. How do I go faster? I'm going faster. Jumping. Jump with space. Okay. That doesn't do anything. I don't have a double jump. It doesn't look like there's any form of aerial acceleration, like air strafing or anything like that. But I want to immediately move around like I'm playing a Counter-Strike or like a Counter-Strike Surf or like a Titanfall 2 or something like that. What else? What other binds were there? Swap held card. Auto aim is shift. So there's no sprint, there's no crouch, it's just move. Okay. Okay. This environment is so cool, by the way. I mean, look at that. Oh, dude. I love the aesthetic here. Oh, okay, I'm already into this. This is gonna make me go real fast, right? And then I jump into it. What is it? Oh, really? That was it? I got a bronze medal for that? That's generous. There's 7 demons. All right. Those must be the demons in question. Purify. Purify soul card. This card fires like a machine gun. Oh, it has like an alternate fire? Okay, that was like a grenade. Firing cards. Press, right click. Swap cards with Q. All right. Q is the weapon swap bind I use in Halo, so that's convenient. But it looks like I can also like throw a grenade or something like that. I wonder, can I damage boost? Is damage boosting a thing? Oh, it is. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. I got it. Don't worry. I just gotta get the jump timing right. Yes. I told you. Look at that. 3rd place in the world. Technically 2nd if you don't count the cheater. Look at that. Oh, man. Let's go, dude. Oh, man. Okay, now I have to find the collectible. That's so sick. That was so satisfying, routing that. Oh, man. Aha. Do I have to do like a triple bounce to get up there? Is that what? Because that's what it looks like. Okay, I'll give this like 1 try. I'm a god. I only needed 1 try. And I beat my best time in the process. No big deal. Next level. Jump on a balloon demon to kill it and bounce into the air. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Ha! That's cute. I love it. Boing, boing. All right. Okay. Is that a zip line? It is not a zip line. I thought it might be, though. Boing, boing. I love it. Do. Haha! That's great, dude. I had ace medal my first try. Nice. Okay, let's try to speedrun now. I'm gonna get my 1 shot, go as fast as I possibly can. Hard right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, bad. Okay, don't use it. Huh. Okay. Oh, no! Brian! I thought I was being cool. All right, if we take that time minus like that second I just lost. Okay, if I did that minus that second I just lost, I'd be much higher on the board. Oh, well. Okay, next level. Dude, that was really, really sick. That was so sick. I seriously like, oh man, I can't wait for this. The art direction, the movement feels cool. I was already discovering things like just on my own that were introduced later as game mechanics. Like if you're like into first person movement games, if you're into games that are very much have their own personality, if you're into speed running, if you're into platformers, I feel like you got to give this one a shot. This is so cool. I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
Neon White just looks fantastic. This game looks amazing. We could sit here and probably spend a half an hour talking about this game, if not more. But I'm gonna limit us.
Definitely do that.
We're gonna have to limit us a little bit. So give me a little bit of kind of quick thoughts. Let's start with Daniel. Give me some quick thoughts about this one. Then we'll get to Brian's thoughts.
Give it so quickly like that, but you know what? I'm just gonna say that it looks like it hits all these notes that a lot of people are playing for or wanting in a very new game. Something that has never been out there before. It has different elements from different games that we love, and it just meshed it into one, and it looks like it's going to have a deep story. It's going to have a lot of movement, a lot of speed running, a lot of competitiveness. It just looks like it's going to be mwah. And the art style is just beautiful.
Definitely. Bri, we heard a lot of your thoughts during that, but tell me a little bit more real quick about the game.
Oh, man. I mean, all I can say is like, there's so much more than what we saw too, like especially from a narrative perspective and character building and everything like that. And also just game mechanics outside of just like completing the levels itself. There's like a lot going on that this easily, as soon as I was done with the demo, this is probably like one of my most, if not my most anticipated game of the year right now.
Oh, wow. That's some pretty high praise.
Yeah.
That is some high praise. Mm-hmm. Well, for those of you who want to try playing the game as White, an assassin pulled directly from hell to compete against other demons for redemption and see the story unfold as to, who those other demons are, who you are even. You can find out if you check out the demo right now. The game will be coming out in early 2022. And if you would like to wishlist the game, you can do that as well, because that lets the developer and publisher know that you are interested in the game. You can also get some cool updates by having the game on your wish list. But yeah, Neon White, great game. Bri clearly had a lot of fun speedrunning the demo, competing for a leaderboard.
Incredible. I love Daniel brought up the art style too, and I'm super intrigued by like the fact that you're just doing all these violent actions in the trailers and everything for this game, but it's against this stark, open, clear skies and ivory, buildings and whatnot. It's beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. So that was only our third game of the speed and style category. Clearly a lot of style to be had today. Let's take a look at our final game for this genre, Ninja Issen. For those of you who want to enjoy a retro-style ninja platformer, you can check out Ninja Issen, developed by Asteroid J and published by CFK. You can play as Kiba, who is a rogue ninja who is falsely accused of assassinating the master of his clan. Now, Bri, tell me what it is that makes this game speed and style.
I mean, obviously, from the speed perspective, one of the things that stuck out to me immediately was it looks like there's a blink mechanic in the game.
There is.
And anytime you got a blink going on, I'm excited about that.
Yep. Dash, blink, whatever is like a speedrunner's favorite word.
Yep.
And another thing that I wanted to touch on too is, I feel like the in general, like the cyberpunk aesthetic, the genre is like very popular these days, and obviously this is another entry like into that, but it doesn't feel like a tired take on it to me. Like it feels very much like its own thing, and it definitely benefits from it rather than just trying to play into it. And I really appreciate that about the game personally.
Yeah, I wonder if the combo counter that we were seeing there plays into the gameplay bonuses at all. I'll have to download the demo and check that out, because I saw them racking up some pretty high combos in there, like the 50s to 60s just in the trailer. And I gotta wonder, is that like just for fun and you want to go for some high combo attacks or high score attacks, or is it going to be factored into the gameplay? I don't know. Daniel, what do you think of Ninja
Following up on what you just said there, I noticed as well in the trailer that some of these missions, you only had 13 enemies to kill in some spots, so you had to probably keep that combo up so that you can continuously have that score high. But what I saw right off the bat as being a VHS collector, the presentation, it was literally like showing screen tears, like as if someone popped in an old VHS. If that's the whole art style of the game and it gives you those kind of flashbacks in a VHS style, you won me. You already sold me. This is great. And I love how you have to like, it takes you back from what I saw into like your past and knowing what happened so that you understand the character's story and be able to get that revenge because you didn't really do anything, or did you?
Sumi, what did you think about this one? Were you filled with hyper ninja action energy like they claim in the trailer there so much?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really like one versus many gameplay. It just feels so good, Like to me, it's a game where I can just like turn my mind off and just focus on racking up those combos, and the UI there that shows the combo racking up on the right side of the screen. Like, it just looks so good, and it makes me feel like super, super accomplished. So I'm very excited to just kind of tear through some enemies and rack up some combos.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
Very encouraging gameplay for trying to keep things clean and really getting better and better at it. Well, I wish we could spend more time talking about speed and style. I really wish we do. Every time we do one of these Steam Next Fest, broadcasts, I'm always like, why can't we just make it a 6-hour long broadcast so we get to talk about everything for so much longer? But we do have to say goodbye to our panelists, Brian Otto and Daniel the Demon. Starting with Bri, why don't you tell everybody out there where they can find you?
Yeah, I am everywhere at Brian Otto, BRYONATO, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. I'm making content on all those platforms. So, thanks for having me around to talk about this stuff. Yeah,
thank you. And Daniel, where can people find you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel the Demon. I'm a variety caster, and you can find me at all socials at Daniel the Demon, all one word. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for having me here. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you over there.
Great. Well, don't forget to check them out, folks. And stick around because we have many more games here during Steam Next Fest. And again, hundreds of games that we're not even going to be covering today. But now, why don't we're moving away from speed and style. Let's slow things down. Let's take it down a notch for a second. And maybe sometimes you just need a game to chill out with. So we're going to take a look at a bunch of games that really fit that atmospheric niche. Let's take a look.
Sometimes it's best to just sit back and take it all in. And whether you prefer the land, the sea, or even another world, Steam Next Fest has you covered with plenty of atmospheric options. Dive on into a flooded, forgotten world in far, changing tides, and help a young boy face the dangers of the depths and find somewhere to call home. In a town haunted by monsters, help a young girl discover the truth in this gothic point-and-click adventure game. But remember, do not enter the forest, or you may never discover the secrets surrounding the children of Silent Town. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, and most importantly, know how to cheat in the 18th century Baroque-inspired adventure game, Card Shark. In the last Overkill, enter a medieval sci-fi world where multiple factions vie for power. But in the end, choice is king. Guide your hero through a co-op action-adventure where your choices will shape the future of Wardenia, if you survive. Take control of an ordinary black cat and lead a young girl through the dangers of a dark fantasy world in the puzzle horror game Light, Black Cat and Amnesia Girl. Just take it all in moment by moment, and don't worry about coming up for air, because you can check out these demos and hundreds more during Steam Next Fest.
Like J-Hob said, we are slowing it down a little bit. We are taking a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out as we explore the atmospheric genre. And here with us today to talk about the atmospheric genre are none other than the famous Spike Vegeta and Nuclear Reaction. Good afternoon. How are you doing? You are in the same house, aren't you?
Yes, she just came over like 30 minutes before this. She was like, oh, your webcam's not looking good, honey. We got to clean this one up right here. You're about to be in front of like 30,000 people. I don't know why I made you from Boston. It's fine. It's because Sense in the call in my earpiece. So I think of his character he always uses, but it's fine. Whatever. Thank you for calling us famous. That was cool, Sumi.
I mean, you guys really are. And I really appreciate that you're here with us to talk about the atmospheric genre. So tell me a little bit about what you felt about that genre trailer that we just saw and the games that were involved.
I am such a fan of just like being sucked into the environment of the game, and so many of those games really just captured me right away. You know, you had such like a variety. You got the nice relaxing ones, but also these like really dark themed ones. And yeah, I'm just here for all of it.
Yeah, I think that hits the nail on its head. I feel like all video games, I think, want to do this, any piece of media, but I think atmospheric style games like this are our first goal is to take the player, suck them in, and immediately just engross them in this world we have created. And so I see a game like Card Shark there, where I love anything with card games, whether they're good or bad, I'll go on the journey with them. But I also like that it's a nice mixture of like almost like some Professor Layton vibes there. About a lot of it is going to be kind kind of logic puzzles you're figuring out with the characters in front of you, the other characters you interact with. How am I going to trick them and cheat my way through this game? And Nukes, you brought up some of these like darker stories that are very much not chill vibes, but like Light, Black Cat, and Amnesia Girl. That one jumped out at me. The sound design in that game looks absolutely incredible. Terrifying chase sequences. Could talk about all the games on this list, but I know we got a bunch we need to do deeper dives into.
We absolutely do. And atmospheric, I want to be clear with everybody, doesn't always just mean chill. And I think that is very important to remember with our next game here, Fist of the Forgotten. This game lets you jump, punch, slide, and swing through the remnants of civilizations, facing powerful bosses to unlock new movement and combat abilities for your giant mechanical fist as you seek out the remnants of humankind. It's brought to you by Lone Wolf Studio, LLC. You can download the demo today or wishlist it on Steam, but we're going to take a look at the trailer right now. That to me was a perfect trailer. I love that trailer so much. This game almost belongs in the speed and style section we just had, actually, but like it is very atmospheric. The more subtle music and the clean visual style with the heavy contrast, it lets you really focus in on the actions of the character, which seems like such a good choice for a game with a movement engine that is just unbelievably deep. Nukes, what did you think about Fist of the Forgotten here, just looking at that trailer?
It really grabbed me. It reminds me of Limbo, but also got like this like Metroid-esque, you know, more platforming, get to run around and move. I also love looking at the page. It's a game with alternate endings, which I'm such a sucker for because I love to go back and explore what can I do differently to change the story of the game.
Oh, awesome. So one of the things that we were talking about when we were watching the trailer is I know Sent, over in the control room said that he was getting Donkey Kong Return vibes. And then Spike was like, oh, yeah. All right, Spike, tell me about it right now.
Gosh, I 100% agree with Hobbs there that, like, this was a perfect trailer. Because what are they establishing right off the bat? It's not messing around. It's not playing with its food. It's, okay, the first thing, yes, you very much get that Limbo vibe coming in. All right, what's going on? What's going on in this mysterious world? I can only see the outline of my character. And the second thing it establishes, but it's going to be real fast. It's going to be really fun to play. You immediately see a slope, and you don't just, like, you go down it and you get a little 0.1 times speed boost. No, you're going like 80 times faster than just walking forward. And it is so fun to watch. It looks like so much fun to control. And it's almost like I draw comparisons to any modern platformer that's understood, okay, have your base character, have them be fun to move, but then also give them like a Cappy or a Flood from the Mario games, or like one of your Donkey Kong power-ups, like one of your other Kongs or something from a DKC game, saying, we're going to give you now this big juxtaposition of this massive fist, and with that, you're going to grapple everywhere. You're going to punch, which I'm assuming can also be used as an attack, but also allows you to just suspend yourself in air, kind of like Super Meat Boy Forever has done. Just the way you can interact with enemies and punch stuff, you get momentum off of that.
Spike, you can't list every single thing. We're going to be here the whole day.
This was a perfect trailer. It was great. Go play this game. I'm going to do it.
It looks great. I think it's fantastic, but we got other games we've got to talk about. And again, I do think, though, that this game game just has such a deep movement engine. It looks deeper than the Atlantic Ocean. And hey, you know what?
Yes.
Speaking about some water here, the Atlantic Ocean, everybody knows that I love my segues, my definitely very good segues. Let's take a look at the next game called Far Changing Tides, a game that releases in just 8 days on March 1st. Oh.
Enjoy the adventure of a boy and his ship as he embarks on a voyage to find a new place to call home. Far Changing Tides will be coming out, as J-Hub said, on March 1st, 2022, developed by Oak Motive and published by Frontier Foundry. Now, J-Hubs, you're going to be playing this game a little bit later, you know, maybe tomorrow or something. But I would also like to hear Spike Vegeta's 20-second lightning round thoughts on this game.
Yes, the trailers, absolutely beautiful. That moment where you go from above the water, just kind of going about your day, getting everything set up, and then you go underwater and you start to see everything in the background. This is a world that I would absolutely want to explore, seeing all the details in the background, everything, and how you interact with your environment and your ship to make it work. Beautiful looking game. Check it out.
Yeah. Nukes, you go ahead. What was jumping out for you?
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, atmospheric really dragging you into the environment, and that game just really does a great job. You see, you're just in that nice, peaceful little ship, but there's also going to be moments of peril, which I think will be a nice contract. Also, the protagonist's name is Toe. I just, yes, big A+ from me.
And he had curly hair. I liked it.
Well, so I'm actually coincidentally in the middle of playing the first game in this series, Far Lone Sails, right now, and I've been enjoying it a ton. And one big thing I want to get out there is that this is one of those games that I think it's actually really hard to sell by watching a trailer. Like, it's hard to really pick up on exactly what the vibe is, what the gameplay is like, but it kind of hooks you like as soon as you start playing it. I really have been enjoying the first one a lot. It's kind of this resource management type game where things are always somehow going wrong and you gotta be putting out fires, sometimes literally all over the place. I think it's really fun. It's a really good take on that kind of genre while still being atmospheric and gorgeous. And everybody should download the demo for this one from the Steam client and check it out, because I'm telling you, you gotta play it to really fully understand this. And again, if you wishlist it, you'll be notified in 8 days when this game comes out on March 1st. But we got to move on from Far Changing Tides. Let's talk about another game that has a demo here in Steam Next Fest. Again, that's all of them. We're going to look at Beacon Pines and take a look at some of the gameplay here.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Spike Vegeta.
And I'm Nuclear Reaction.
And we're very excited to jump into this beautiful looking visual novel right here with a very mysterious looking story from what we've been told. Nukes, what are we playing tonight?
This is Beacon Pines, the demo of it. So it looks, I'm really excited to try this one. I'm a big fan of just like the atmosphere already. It's already pulling you in immediately with the thunder in the beginning. And yeah, I love visual novels, so let's get started.
Now let's hop right in.
Dear reader, allow me to introduce you to my book. Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary. You may, therefore, have some misunderstandings about its nature. The story that awaits you has not been fully told. In fact, its conclusion is not yet known, even to myself. It is in that way that my book is special. It is in that way that you are special. Without you, there is no story.
It's up to us.
Chapter 1. Normal isn't what it used to be. This is a story about change. Nestled in a shallow valley is the town of Beacon Pines.
Okay.
Far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, a young boy walks alone at dawn.
Oh, look at the little guy.
Like you, dear reader, he's here for a reason.
Luca Van Horn.
Little Luca.
Oh my god, I love the art style so much.
That's so cool. I love how it just like it opened into it. My mom's out there somewhere. And it seems like everyone wants to pretend she's gone for good.
Always welling up.
You don't have to come, Rolo, if you don't want to.
No. Luca, remember that time I sort of accidentally burned down the chicken coop?
Heckin' Rolo.
Heckin' Rolo, always screwing it up. And you jumped in and said it was your fault before my paw throttled me? This is a flaming chicken coop sort of deal. I've got your back. Aww.
Thanks, Rolo.
We're buddies. Now that I think about it, poking around in a decrepit fertilizer warehouse is exactly how I want to spend the first day of summer. Let's go. Whoop.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm really enjoying this game.
I feel like you could just sit on every screen and just analyze every little piece of detail that they put into this whole thing.
Plus, I want to find charms. Like, can I get some splashing? Like, I just want to interact with everything.
Send up the satellite they did right there on the top of the house, the flag, just the little itty bitty planks to get across. What's going on with the boat? I want to know what's going on with the boat.
I want to explore.
We got a mama and her baby. Luca, just the fella I was looking for.
Hey, Roxy, what's up?
Right. Rendezvous with Roxy. This is an important turning point.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Where your charms will change the course of fate. And currently, we only have one suitable charm at our disposal.
So you can't just say anything there.
Later using the chronicle once we find more charms.
Oh, so you can
that.
I like that. So you can only use the one right now, but you can unlock later charms. That's a neat way to do it. So it kind of forces you to go one way.
Yeah.
But I like that.
It's telling like a linear story pathing for telling a wide open story with so many choices. That's so cool. Where are we? Have you seen my blockhead brother today? He skipped out before breakfast.
Well, not really, no. Can't say I have.
Can't say or won't say?
Roxy, why would I lie to you?
They're little tip taps. Luca, wait up! I almost forgot to tell you.
Dang it, Rolo.
Rolo, you're rolling into trouble. Roxy might be lurking around here. This is one of her favorite places to stand around and be useless. Man, that was...
Rolo.
So we need to make sure she doesn't spot us.
Rolo.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm really enjoying this.
Yes.
I I definitely am excited to check out the full game when it comes out, for sure.
I want to explore every single screen. I want to explore every single character, every single choice you can make, each of the branching paths. This is very cool. I love the artwork. What's your favorite part of the game?
I'm a sucker for games that's a story, but you get to impact the story and go back, and I just like the whole concept of that. But then plus the characters are super, super. I want to talk to all of them. Like sometimes you have games where there's NPCs and you just don't really want to take the time to interact with them all. This game, I want to take the time to interact with every NPC so far. They're all super charming and have great personality.
Yeah, I could harp about just how good every aspect of this game is, but just big shout outs to whoever made all of the character portraits, because they're all so good, so full of characterization. All of them have multiple different portraits for each of the different characters. And like right now, it's like you're saying, I want to interact with every single character on screen. I want to figure out this mystery. I want to know where my mom is.
Yes.
This game's great.
Yeah. I'm for sure, I'm sold. I'm definitely going to be checking out Beacon Pines when it comes out.
Beacon Pines. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We went at the same exact time. Beacon Pines, as you saw, is a cute and creepy adventure game. You can sneak out late, make new friends, uncover hidden truths, and collect words that will change the course of fate. It's brought to you by Hiding Spot. And again, you can go download the demo right now or wishlist it on Steam to be notified when the game comes out later in 2022. So we got to hear a lot of thoughts from Nukes and Spike there already at the end of the gameplay video. So Sumi, what were you thinking watching Beacon Pines here?
I felt like it was like taking a walk in the park. And I don't mean it as in like the game is super easy. I mean, literally, like I felt like
you're on a stroll.
Like just watching the game, I felt like I was taking a walk through the park because of the atmosphere that was created there. And I really, really enjoyed like the beginning of the demo that we just saw. Like they say, "Welcome to my book." I really feel like that just kind of pulls me in already, and it makes me feel like it's like I'm getting settled in for a story, and I feel like this really is perfect for atmospheric. Now, Nukes, you got to play the game. Tell me a little bit about what it was like experiencing the game.
This game was so unbelievably charming. Like from the art, from just interacting with the environment, the characters I wanted to spend the time talking to every single character that we found. And then getting to use that exploration to impact the story was incredible. This is a game I'm definitely going to play when it comes out.
Yeah, and again, anybody who wants to give it a shot can play it right now, play the demo. And I want to say that, like, I actually watched someone play through this demo last year, so I knew about this one coming into it. And the trailer that you're all seeing now hints at it, but the way you play with words to affect change on the overall story is just extremely novel. And those don't only just affect some dialogue or like a cutscene or two. They have pretty massive impacts on the gameplay as well. And I think that's just a really cool concept. I haven't really seen that done before. And the game looks, it looks and at times feels really cute. But I'd say don't let it lure you into a false sense of security either. Like, that's kind of all I'll say for now. But you all can play the demo and try it out yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what I was wondering, because when I looked at the store page for this game, it said cute and creepy. But then when I watched the gameplay, I was like, this is so cute. What's the creepy? And then I look at the trailer and they just toss in like a casual swear word in there, and I'm like, oh,
this is happening. Oh, okay.
This is not your, not your grandma's, bedtime fairy tale or whatever. Well, we got to hear a lot of thoughts on that one during it. So why don't we move on to our last game here in the atmospheric category? That is Onde, which is a game that also has a release date coming up really soon, March 17th, 2022. It's the year that we're all in. We all know it. If you can't wait until then, you can go download the demo in the Steam client right now, but watch the trailer with us.
Onde is a sound surfing puzzle platformer that is developed by Lanson 350 and published by Mixed Division, coming soon. And really, when I watched that trailer, I really wanted to close my eyes and just like soak in the audio, but the visuals were just so good. Hobbs, tell me about this game and about, I know that one of the comments you were saying is that this game is math. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I think this game is a really good closer to the atmospheric section here, because it is exactly that. That's like the best word to describe it. And I love all the geometric shapes, and more than that, the 2D and 3D curves are often made out of thin lines, a lot of basic geometry, a lot of circles and whatnot. I think someone really just wanted to make math beautiful in this game, and I think they accomplished that. Like, it really seems like they did. I have no idea how the gameplay even feels yet, because I haven't downloaded the demo like all of you could be doing right now. But just looking at it and trying to, catch the wave in this smooth sound surfing platformer, I thought it was really just gorgeous and perfect to kind of zone out in. What were the thoughts from our panelists here? Spike, we can start with you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like you're bringing up right there, is you sort of look at a game like this, and in a trailer, it's hard to let you know, how is this going to control what's going to be happening? And I love a game like this that at the beginning, you won't really know. Obviously, the game has design. It's going to kind of ease you in, get you to slowly know its mechanics. And then through 100 sets of screens plus, where none of them look at all the same, you will just naturally know, with how the mechanics are fed to you, exactly what you need to do on every different screen. I think this game looks absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to see how it plays.
Nukes, your thoughts?
I every night when I'm done with work, I look for a game that's just relaxing, gonna help me get ready, to go to sleep. And this is it. This is it. The sound that's beautiful and relaxing, the colors, and just the environment. Also, it's not obvious from this, but it's also a puzzle game. It's puzzle platforming. So it's the perfect wind down if you had a bad day at work type of game.
Unless you're bad at puzzles, in which case maybe you should just close your eyes and enjoy the visuals or enjoy the music. All right. Well, for those of you who want to try out Onde, you can try out the demo right now. You can go to the store page for it and check out the demo. You can also wishlist the game so that you can know when it will be coming out. But that brings us to the end of this genre, the end of atmospheric for today. So I want to once again thank our wonderful panelists, Nuclear Reaction and Spike Vegeta, for joining us today. Can you tell us, starting with Nukes, tell us where we can find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/nuclear_reaction. I'm also on Twitter at Nuclear Reaction, minus the underscore, minus one of the R's in the middle, because Twitter has character limits, but yeah.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all Spike Vegeta. We like speed runs, we like randomizers, we like challenge runs, we like casual playthroughs, a lot of retro games, a lot of modern games. It's a lot of everything. Just come check it out.
Awesome. Thank you very much to both of you. And now, Hobbs, we are on to our last and final genre of the day. Tell us a little bit about what we should be expecting for Create and Destroy, Hobbs.
It's sad we always go through this so fast. It feels like we're going to be here forever. But yeah, these games are ones that are just, I don't know. They're either going to be helping you build things up or helping you tear them down and really just causing destruction. I think really the best way to learn about what we're looking at here is to just watch some bits from a bunch of different games.
Build up a new world or break it all down. Good news, you don't have to pick just one, because Steam Next Fest has tons of demos to help you create and destroy. Pick your style and your deck in a dueling card game with a universal system that bridges the gap from martial artists to mecha. Regardless of who you are or how you fight, the only outcomes are death or glory. When the world succumbs to a mysterious toxic spore, it'll take a village to survive. Lead your people and your en route to prosperity in The Wandering Village. Assemble your plane, gather your ingredients, design your drink, and brew up some competition for a pirate monopoly in the simulation shoot-'em-up hybrid, The Brew Barons. Colonize the final frontier and explore humanity's new home in the open-world survival game, Occupy Mars. Finally, let's tear it all down in Gigabash, a multiplayer arena brawler with fully destructible environments inspired by the Kaiju classics. Don't worry about the mess, we'll put it all back together while you enjoy these and hundreds of other demos during Steam Next Fest.
Whoever decided to make the create and destroy genre, I love you because I love creating things. Maybe I'm a 50-50 on destroy, but when I see farming like I saw in The Wandering Village, I'm already wishlisting the game. And before we get into that, let's introduce our panelists for today. We have Skybills and we also have Fant. Welcome to Next Fest 2022.
Yeah, anything?
Glad to be here.
Anything jump out from that first one to either of you? Let's start with you, Sky.
Well, I very much like Death or Glory. That is a card game with fantasy characters. As someone who plays Magic the Gathering for OXG Esports, I am a very big fan of card games. So I am excited to see what that brings to the card game genre.
I thought you might pick that one. Fant was.
Me too.
Yeah. What was looking good to you?
Gigabash, just like the first time I saw that trailer, I was just on the floor laughing. It's just one of those games where, throughout the years, cities have been pounded on in like action movies and destruction genre movies. And this one, the city is fighting back. And just when I saw a building come in and start fighting a giant monster, I'd lost it. It's so good.
Incredible. But let's take a deeper look at some of the other games in this create and destroy category here. Remember, everybody, that any game that you have been seeing on the broadcast here today, you can download the demo for right now, and you can wishlist it on Steam if you want to be notified when the game comes out. But let's look at a game from Bulwark Studios here that's going to be releasing later in 2022. It's called IXION.
Full jump complete. Hull integrity compromised. Likelihood of station survival stands at 7%. Repairs imperative. Hull integrity stabilizing. Likelihood of station survival now stands at 9%. Stockpiles depleted. Suggest probe launch to locate resources. Mining ships deployed. Signal detected. Power consumption reaching critical levels. Administrator intervention necessary. Magnetic storm intercepts proposed trajectory. Caution. Likelihood of station survival stands at 15%. Fallout 14%. 12%. 7%.
You are leading a team aboard the Titan space station to find a new home for humanity. Will you be able to do that, or will you potentially get lost in space? You can find out if you try the IXION trailer now. The game will be coming out in 2022, and it is developed by Bulwark Studios and published by Kaseto Games. So this game is all about being in space and managing a base. And Hobbs, tell me a little bit about what kind of vibe you get from this game.
Yeah, honestly, I was really kind of confused by this one, but in a good way. Like, I was intrigued is a better word for it. I knew I wanted to know more, but I was left with this. Again, we kind of had cross-genre games here again. It was almost an atmospheric game to me. I loved the kind of emptiness of space that it presented you with, but at the same time, there was still a lot going on in space. So I was really interested by it a lot. I do want to know, I want to hear though from Fant, because for those who don't know, Fant is actually like a literal rocket scientist. So Fant, what were you thinking when you were looking at IXION here?
Oh, I absolutely adored this trailer. Like, I was just like on the edge of my seat thinking, like, going through the atmosphere there is like, ooh, things are going to be bad there because space,
because
in a lot of popcorn flicks.
I introduced you.
No, not because of that.
I introduced you as a rocket scientist. So you said that things are going to be interesting there because space. No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
No,
please.
You interrupt me before I get it. No, so space is very, very difficult and one of the harshest environments that there is. Like, so much new stuff has to be developed to go out there, and every single problem, as soon as you go into 0G, becomes exponentially worse. And this is a game where it's like half city builder, half exploration, half resource management. And I know that adds up to more than one, but, roll with it with me. So not only do you have the SimCity style building segment, but it has stakes to it, right? It's like, you're running out of power. There's no easy to find resources. You have to go find this elsewhere. You have to launch probes to go investigate the asteroid belt and get some resources there. And yeah, that constant clock that's ticking, it's like just always moments from disasters, like what I'm getting from this. And it sounds a little bit stressful, but that's what I'm looking for when in a space game. So I think it's going to be like just this awesome, half exploration, half city builder game here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
awesome.
Sky, you actually noticed too while we were watching the trailer for that one, that same thing that Fan was bringing up about how the timer seems to be very prevalent and everything. Well, what are your thoughts on this game?
So the one word I would use to describe this is intense. It is a very survival-esque game where if you do not min-max your tasks to their full potential, that clock is going to be merciless. So it's just counting down and counting down. And I feel like that would make me feel really nervous when I'm playing. So not only are we getting a create and destroy aspect here, we're also getting that immersion there, because once that timer starts going, that's going to be what occupies your thoughts the whole time, as if you yourself are in that world trying to survive.
Yeah, tension is something that can be really hard to manage in a video game, I think, and trying to make sure that there's that right amount. Like you're not sweating because you don't want to play the game because you're freaking out, but it looks like one where they hit that balance perfectly of just wanting to really keep you on the edge of your seat, and then also just keeping your brain super active the whole time without letting up that fear. Sumi, while you were looking at this one, what was jumping out at you for it? Because I think this trailer kind of, it says a lot without saying anything at all in a way.
Yeah. So when I was watching this, I was like, I took notes and I wrote, this is the kind of game that I would still play after a full day of work, even though you're technically working in this game. Like it's just one of those things where I just want to maybe manage some tasks. It says that you can do some infrastructure in there too. There's exploration, and then there's like the create aspect with like farming and stuff. Like you have to like create those resources to live. I'm just really, really excited for this one. And once again, for those of you who would like to try out the game, the demo is available right now. You can play the game, check out the store page for it, wishlist the game. But we have some other games that are also in this create and destroy genre. Let's take a look at the next one called VELONE.
you want to check out VELONE or VELONE, we're not really sure. Don't worry, because you can download the demo today. And again, you wish list it on Steam if you want to know when it's going to be released. And this is, before we even get started into kind of looking at what this game is, I want to see the show of hands. Who thinks it's pronounced VELONE? I'm going with VELONE personally. What are we thinking? How are we feeling? Or are we doing VELONE? VELONE? Anybody with a VELONE? Something like that?
I'm raising my hand in spirit.
I like, regardless, I think that this is a cool game that fits in that niche genre of programmer games in a way. Like, there are other games like this where it's kind of for hardcore puzzle gamers even more than it is for like programmers and stuff, because you can invent your own ways to approach a puzzle with like new limitations. Maybe you want to do it in the shortest number of compute cycles, or you want to try to make the whole thing be the fastest it possibly can be. There's a lot of different ways to approach a game like this. And what's kind of interesting about VELONE or VELONE to all of you out there? Sky, let's start with you on this one.
So this is something that goes very deep into puzzle gaming. So I had logic, science, problem solving based. It almost looked like you were trying to sequence DNA. Like, that was my first impression looking at the game. It's definitely one of the most complex creation games I've ever seen. And if you are really into puzzle games, this is definitely the game for you.
Yeah, it's like relaxing and highly replayable, which I completely understand for this one. Maybe not the relaxing part though. I feel like my brain would be working overtime for that. Sumi, what about you? How do you feel about VELONE?
So I actually talked about this game with one of my friends because for me, this game, it really felt like a programmer game, like you mentioned. So I actually went and talked to my friend who's an engineer, and I was like, what do you think about this game? And he knows that this game would absolutely destroy me because I feel like I don't have that kind of like, I don't think that way, that I don't think in a way that would possibly like make this game easy for me. So he said that the game would probably be my nightmare, but you know, for him, he's interested in these kinds of games, and he said that it's very reminiscent of Space Chem and other Zachtronics games. So for those of you who are interested in that, you can definitely check out this game. But you know, it's definitely, for me, what stood out the most is that at the bottom, there's like, it's like your timer. It's like all of your keyframes when you're making an animation. And I'm just like,
right.
Oh my God. And when the trailer was going on, there's like more and more and more steps. And but by the time the trailer was over, I was like, I need to try this because I need to understand how this works.
The bar at the bottom is like a dose of keyframes from Animation Timeline and a dose of like musical notation, like, you know, creating music or whatnot. Does this scratch your like problem solving itch, you think?
Oh, it does. It does, absolutely. And it gives you a kind of like a visual mechanical representation of like steps in program, because you brought that programming analogy up. And it is like very analogous to that, because I went through the demo and played through it. But like you're making a mechanical system and you're giving it like an order of operations to, you know, get these spheres, these balls. They're the VELONEs. That's what they are. That's what the namesake of the game is, into its position. And the amount of satisfaction I got, like as soon as I got the sequence right and everything lined up into place, it felt great. And if that's something that makes you happy, you're going to love this game.
Well, speaking of satisfying, you know, something that just feels great to accomplish, I think our next game is satisfying for a very, very different reason. From Randwork, the developer and publisher for this game. This game will be coming to you in the early or mid 2022, and it's called ABRISS. We're going to take a look at some of the gameplay.
What's up, everybody? I'm Fans, and I'm going to be checking out the demo of ABRISS, Build to Destroy, a game all about just the joy of destruction, as I see, you know, this wonderful title screen here. Kind of gives you the gist of it. We slow it down, we speed it up, we just do whatever we can to make structures explode violently and in amusing ways. So there's a campaign, which I'm going to be starting off with, so I haven't played this before, so we'll see how we do. Use connectors to link parts. Okay. Let's see, 1-1 tower. So I have a limited number of pieces. I got a heavy cube, I got a connector, and I need to take out these two targets up top. So I'm gonna start by putting in a heavy pillar down the middle. Put on a connector. Maybe 2 more pillars. The connector. Let's put like a heavy block on either side, maybe. See if this works. Maybe one on top as well. We're gonna make like a hammer coming down. Let's see. I'm gonna hit go and well, here, let's tilt it off a little bit there. Let's see what happens. Oh, is it moving? Is it moving? It may need a little bit more of a push. A little bit more of a push here. So let's delete that. We're gonna set that off more on the edge. See if that's enough to, well, now the heavy block is going. So let's see. I may have to rethink my strategy here. I know. Here, we can do this. I'm going to add in a big weight there. So now it's like this counterweight wanting to bring it down. Come on, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. It's finally going. Oh, but I missed the other side. All right, we got through, we got through. Got one more connector I could put in here, you know. Let's put it up, spread the area a little bit. This is my improv hammer here. Let's see what happens. Is it enough? There we go. Very good. I love it. It's so satisfying. All right, level complete. One move. We got 100% destruction. Pretty satisfied about that. The lasers a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and like try and offset it so it's not as wobbly. Let's put a cube over here. So we're gonna do some weight offset. Not sure if this is gonna impact it at all, but you know, maybe it will. Okay, turn on the lasers, engage. I can just take off this side right here. Let's start spinning it. Oh, I can control, I can turn these on and off. There we go, look at this, it's coming in right down the middle. Let's go. Oh, it's wiggling, it's alive. I want to see if it like has different physics. Let's reset the target. I want to go again. I wanted to get it to lunge out there. Yes, yes, yes. This is yes. It's walking through. The kaiju is alive. There we go. Let's see here from this side. Yeah, look at that. The face of destruction right there. All right, now this may need some adjustment depending on how unbalanced this is. Let's see what happens when I click go. Ooh, turn on the lasers. Turn on the lasers. Activate spin mode. Go, go, go. It's alive. It just fell off. Oh wait, no, it's fine now. It's fine. Engage the helicopter blade. Oh, it's self-destructing. It's too powerful. Let's reset the target. The helicopter blade's too powerful. All right. Well, you know, my killer robot of doom needs a little bit of work, but I think it shows promise. Anyway, thanks for checking out ABRISS. I can't wait to play the full version of this game. This is right up my alley. Just making destruction beautiful, or just comedic, like in this case. always a blast.
ABRISS was perfect for this genre because the genre was create and destroy, and ABRISS, their store page actually says ABRISS build to destroy. So you're building things to destroy. And we got a little look into the mind of a rocket scientist. Fant, you built some very, very interesting things. And Sky had a lot of really, really cool things to say about it. Sky, tell me like what your thoughts were watching Fant build these machines.
So my first thought while watching this, other than making sound effects to kind of go with all the destruction, let me start off, like that was my favorite part. I was just making sound effects going alongside the destruction. It's, I described it as adult building blocks. It was kind of like watching a kid build something and then just completely smashing and destroying it. It just looks so satisfying. The graphics were awesome. And the main point that I had in my notes is there's so many questions I have after this trailer, but I feel like Fant's gameplay answered so much of that. It's like, am I destroying my own structure or am I destroying what I just built? The answer is just yes. Yes, please. Please play this game. This looks amazing. I'm going to have to give this a try myself because there's so many different ways to construct things. And again, well done on that. That was just the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube thing, just going through everything. Just yes. Yes. Thank you.
Hobbs, what do you think?
I think let's make a new genre called voxel satisfaction and just let this game rule over it, because that's exactly what it is. Like, I just want to play this game. I don't even know how much I want to spend my time building in it. I just want to watch particles fly everywhere for hours on end, because they really nailed that. Like they hit I would say the nail on the head with a hammer, but they hit the building with a hammer made out of other buildings kind of on the head. We got to hear a lot of your thoughts during that gameplay, but tell us more about it.
Yeah, so whenever you have like a destruction game, there's two like key aspects of it that make it really satisfying. And one is you have a good target, and two, you have like great sound effects that go with the destruction when it happens. This game has both. So you just got this giant wall, and then you heard some of it there in that trailer, but when something impacts and those bombs explode, it's immensely satisfying, like just how metal it is, for lack of a better term. Like it's just so satisfying to hear everything explode. But what I played with there, like making the robot and the wiggly thing walking down the street, that was just a small fraction of the tools that are available. And there's like so many other pieces. There's like rocket launchers, there's thrusters you can put on stuff. You can attach a thruster to a block and use it as like a projectile to go through. Oh. There's like, there's little bombs you could chuck and do all this stuff. So that's just like the very basic set of tools. And I was able to do that. So just imagine like the possibilities that are going to open up once we get all these other tools available. And you can check out some of that in the demo.
I have a new challenge. I want somebody out there to go download the demo in the Steam client right now. Because again, this game has a demo you could play with. And go build a Gundam, like just a fully functioning thing that's just going to tear through buildings of this. Like I feel like somebody could do it.
That is what I was going for with the robot.
Yeah. Somebody else, see if you can do it better. But for now, we're going to have to move on from ABRISS and talk about our final game in the Create and Destroy category. That is a game called Stack Gun Heroes, all about stacking, yet from developer Unstacked and publisher Team Stack Studios. Some kind of stacking is going on. There better be building. Let's see.
cursed hour if you dare.
Stack Gun Heroes, developed by Unstacked, published by Team Stack Studios. So like Hop said, there's a lot of stacking and unstacking going on there, but there's also some cursed powers happening somewhere around there. Fant, tell me, we've seen a lot of different ways that you can stack your gun in that game. What are you most looking forward to trying out?
I want to, whenever I play a game like this, I want to see like how far you can take it. How many mods can I put on a gun? I saw the counter ticking up in that trailer. It was like 100, 150, and it kept on going. I was like, when does it stop? When will it stop? When will it be too much? Will I find the answer to that? And that's a question I want to explore.
Maybe there is none. And you said that, and I had the same kind of thought, but I thought like maybe the developer of this game went and played Transistor and saw, oh, okay, we can combine different elements and get a bunch of different powers, and thought, oh, wait a minute. Like, what if we cranked it up to 11? You know, what if we made it so that it was just so many more mods that you could add on to this gun and change things? And I think that is just, we opened the show with embracing chaos, and now we're closing it again with embracing chaos. Sky, how do you want to embrace the chaos of Stack Gun Heroes?
I want to know how many explosions can happen on the screen at the same time. I mean, we saw the beginning of that trailer, like just right away with an explosion. And I'm like, okay, how many can be present on the screen at each time? I also like the automated production. I want to know how the customization plays a role with that and what you can actually create with the automated production. It looked really cool.
Yeah, this is going to become the new game that like tech YouTubers are using to benchmark CPUs and stuff, to just know like how many explosions can happen at the same time with this game. And did you see the speed, like when they stacked a bunch of speed mods in a row on that one section of the trailer? Just, I could keep gushing, but I'll stop. I'll hold back.
You know what I'm really excited for? I am super excited for the fact that it's 1 to 4 players. That means there's multiplayer for this game. So if you really want to test your PC, you can go ahead and play with 4 people. And I really wonder how the interaction is there. Like, do you fight each other? Do you fight enemies? Is it kind of like Risk of Rain 2, where you have like the cursed powers and you're fighting enemies together with your stacked guns? Do you pick up the mods as drops? But we looked at this when I looked at the store page. They listed some of the guns that people have already come up with, and the one that stood out to me the most was this was part of the list of guns that people made. A gun that shoots guns at people. Those guns shoot more guns, which shoot people. Like, oh no. That's incredible. That's wild.
That sounds like something out of a Daredevil movie. I mean, a Deadpool movie is what I meant to say. Yep. Yeah, that'd be great. Well, we'd love to talk more about Stack Gun Heroes, but we're just going to have to go download the demo. I think we're just going to have to go do that, give it a try for ourselves. And again, you can wishlist this game on Steam if you want to be notified when it comes out. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today, but especially to Fant and Sky, who have helped us kind of finish things off here. So where can everybody find you? Let's start with Fant.
Yeah, so I stream on a pretty regular schedule on twitch.tv/Fant_TV, matching the nameplate there. Play a whole bunch of like randomizers and casual playthroughs of games. You know, the whole works, a whole bunch of variety of things. If you want to see my thoughts on other things, I'm on Twitter at HollywoodFants. So look forward to talking to anybody who stops by.
And Sky, if people want to catch you playing some more card games and just destroying people at them, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me at twitch.tv/Skyvilles. A lot of Pokemon, Magic, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Content if you're into any of the big three. A lot of that in there. You can also find my gaming opinions as well as cute animal pictures at Skyvilles on Twitter. And I also have a YouTube page where I show some more of my speedruns and some of my randomizer playthroughs. That is youtube.com/Skyvilles as well.
Okay, awesome. And also for anyone who doesn't know, you can also catch Sky every other week on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick, which is also where you can find me at times, sue me at times. But thank you so much for joining us, the two of you. And I think, Sumi, we've reached the end. I think we're there. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but don't worry. This is just the beginning for all of you out there. There is an entire week of Steam Next Fest. Sumi, what games are you looking to jump into as soon as we get done here?
I really want to play some 8-bit adventures too. Like when I saw that, I was like, all right, I want to play some turn-based RPG. And that's exactly what that game is going to deliver me. I also want to play, maybe some Neon White. Brian made that game look super, super fun. You know, like when I watched him play and I watched him try to top the leaderboard, it made me like competitive. Like maybe this is one game that I could compete with Brian. Probably not because it's an FPS, but I'm going to try anyway. What about you, Hobbs?
You never know. Neo White definitely looked fantastic. I want to try that one for sure. And I'm going to actually get to play Far Changing Tides tomorrow on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. So that'll be really fun. But I think I'm going to have to go download Fist of the Forgotten and jump into that one because it just looked super, super fun. The movement just grabbed me immediately. The vibes of Limbo and whatnot were super interesting as well. So there's so many good ones that we showcased here today, though. And again, hundreds more indie games that you can all go download demos for in the Steam client. Don't forget, 7 days running all the way up to, I believe, February 28th, if I'm not mistaken, that this next Fest promotion is going to be going on. So please, everybody, check them out. Wishlist the games if you enjoy them. And I guess that's going to pretty much do it for us here, Sumi.
Yeah, but Hobbs, we have to tell them, where can they find you?
For me, my stuff is all over the place. The easiest thing you can do is Google J Hobbs, JHOBZ. That's right. I made the name when I was in middle school, so it has a Z in it. And you could Google me there, and it should be like the top 3 results or whatever, or my Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and whatnot. So check me out there. And Sumi, how about you?
I'm Sumichu. You can find me SUMICHU in some places, and I do whatever. A lot of behind the scenes things, some hosting here and there, and I'm just very excited to have been around for another Next Fest, and for all of you who enjoyed this stream, maybe we'll have another one. Maybe we'll see you next time. But for now, please, by all means, go and enjoy some demos from now until February 28th, 2022. You can check it out in the Steam client. They have a whole page dedicated to Next Fest. They have actual, typical genres. The games are separated into actual genres, not like the ones that we kind of made up here today. But so there are hundreds of demos. Watch developer live streams. You can even chat with some of the teams that are working on the game. That's it for us. So see you next one.
Bye, everybody.